What's up, guys? Davinator1212, and today we got something really cool. The new Kaijus got released. Woo! Hooray for Italian leaks. Oh boy, let's get to it. The first one is Gadlara, the mysterious dust Kaiju. It's a bug. It's a big insect. It's a level 8 trade-in target. Excellent. 2700 attack, 1600 defense. Wind. Okay, that's cool. Being a wind, that we kind of expected that because we only had every other attribute except wind and light, so we got a wind and a light. Cool. Hooray for patterns, I guess. As a wind, that means it has some inherent synergy with various wind archetypes, like harpies. Like Harpy Dancer can bounce this thing, so we do have some shenanigans that you could possibly do there. But anyway, let's keep going. Basically, the thing that we care about is his specific effect, because every Kaiju has the same thing. You can tribute an opponent's monster to summon it in their field and attack position, and if you have a Kaiju, you can summon it to your field and attack position. They all do that. And they all say you can only have one Kaiju. Fine, who cares? What we do care about is his quick effect. It is a quick effect, after all. During either player's turn, you can spend 3 Kaiju counters to half the attack and defense of everything on the field. Okay, that's not bad. The utility of this card is meh until we talk about the spell. But for him on his own, he's okay. He kind of solves the problem of I give my opponent a guy, and all the ones that do nothing on his turn are all really big. So I give myself a guy, and he can actually have their attack, so I can actually get over something. That is kind of useful as far as Kaijus are concerned, because like the ones that you'd want to give your opponent are like Dagoron, and he's huge. So all the ones you want are small. So it's like, how do I get rid of the Dagoron? He's just gonna run into me next turn. So unless you have capture mission or something. So this kind of helps solve that. It gives you another way of getting around giving your opponent the bigger of the two. Other utility is that it is a big insect, so the like ancient build of this deck, when it was just the two, Dagoron and Kumungus, people were using like Hanzo, that Grandmaster Ninja thing, and Super Transformation to summon them, because I believe Super Transformation summons a dinosaur or an insect by tributing the ninja, so they kind of made some sense. This gives you a little bit more better option than Kumungus, because it's a level 8, not a level 7, so now you have Dagoron and this thing, so you can trade in them both. So there is a... might be able to resurrect the ninja deck. I never liked it. I thought it wasn't very good, but there is that, so that's something to think about. The next one is probably the better of the two, and it's the big one. Jizkiru, the Star Destroyer Kaiju. Somehow the Star Destroyer Kaiju is a light. Cash in with more Star Wars, I guess. He is a level 10 machine. Holy crap, and a light. That's great. The fact that he's level 10 means there's some fun use for him in like even the train deck, and that he's a machine is like perfect. There's tons of support for that. So, you know, he might find himself in other decks, but let's continue. 3,300 attack? Holy shit, this thing is freaking huge. This is one of the biggest freaking monsters in the game that you can just slap down without some bizarre summoning condition. This, holy shit, 33? This makes Dark Destroyer and Leo look like a bitch. Holy crap, this thing's big. So, you know, this thing's always a decent option if you just have to give it to yourself. Alright, and let's keep going. 2,600 defense is nothing to really shake a stick at, so that's also kind of relevant, but it's way overshadowed by this thing's massive attack. But what is his specific effect? Well, during either player's turn, another quick effect, when a card or effect targets exactly one card on the field, you can spend 3 Kaiju counters to negate that card effect and then destroy it. Oh, no. It's destroy one card on the field, meaning you can destroy, in theory, something else. Okay, cool. Never mind. Unless that's not correct. These are early translations, so that might be that seems strange. But anyway, oh, cool. The biggest thing about this is you're like, all right, well, that's not great. Okay, fine. You can, you know, your opponent targets something, and like the field spell already has self protection. So what the hell? that's not what we care about. We care about, like, this thing is huge, so the most likely your opponent's going to be getting rid of it by something like Castell or 101 or some other targeting effect, and he can single-handedly just negate that. He can protect himself. That's actually really good. That makes him really hard to deal with. So giving yourself this guy is actually really not that bad of a play. I mean, obviously Gamma-Cell is the better of the two as far as a defensive kaiju is concerned, because his 3000 defense is really big, respectively, and he can just negate anything, anywhere, regardless of what it is. But if you need something more aggressive, this thing really isn't that bad. And again, it's a level 10, which means that it's a machine and as well. So it has some, you know, crazy synergy with the trains, and, you know, Mound of the Bound is going to make this thing, like, invincible. So, like, you know, there's some fun things you can do with this card. So I wouldn't discount this thing quite yet. But the last card we need to talk about, and the piece de resistance, is their new spell. It's a super rare, which is crazy because, like, UA never got anything above a rare, and we didn't think the Kaiju would either, but hey, they got a super rare. Hooray for the new rarity system, I guess. But anyway, what is it? It's a normal spell, okay, called Interrupted Kaiju Dream. Oh, that's a bad translation. It's not going to be called that, trust me, that's a terrible name. But anyway, Interrupted Kaiju Dream. How about, like, Disturbed Kaiju Slumber or something? Like, that would be cooler than that awful name. But anyway, what does it do? As far as right now, when this video is being made, unless, again, this is a bad translation, destroy as many monsters on the field as possible. So, Dark Hole. Okay. And then special summon 2 Kaiju monsters with different names in attack position from your deck. Okay. To each side of the field. With, okay, so you nuke the board and then you give each other a Kaiju? Hey, that's pretty good. Basically, this card does exactly what the Kaiju mechanic was always intended to do. Idea being that they were 2 big monsters that would be the only things in the board, and they would just fight each other. And we couldn't do that because that mechanic was super clumsy until this thing. Right now, every single build of the deck has been abuse the mechanics somehow. Yusenju's, well, the tribute mechanic is really good, so we just keep bouncing the Kaiju, we can tribute away weird stuff and just bounce it right back, and we're never losing in card advantage doing that. That's really good. But it's really not in the spirit of the deck, if that makes any sense. The spirit of the deck is supposed to be, let them fight. Like, that's what it is. So this sets that up completely. It just nukes the board. Get rid of everything else. No more gimmicks. Bleh. And then just 2 Kaijus, mono a mono. They got to attack. That's the other thing. It says they must attack if able. So, bleh, they got to fight. And then, during the turn this thing is sent to the graveyard, you can banish it to search a Kaiju. So, it's a Dark Hole that's also a search card. This card is awesome. It's also got some really gimmicky side effects that I'm not sure that Konami even intended. Like, if you have, like, Gradle Alligator on board and you nuke your board, you're going to destroy everything, including the Gradle. You summon your 2 Kaijus, the Gradle will activate, and then steal the other Kaiju, which will inherently just kill it through game mechanics. So then you have a completely open board that you can just ram into your opponent with, like with that 3300 guy. So, the Star Destroyer. That's awesome. Like, that's a great little combo, and that's not out of the way for Gradle Kaiju to do. Destruction right now isn't very good, so, like, you know, when stuff dies, a lot of it floats. That sucks, but with Alligator, you can just take whatever they float into, if you can deal with the Kaiju. That's great. This card alone is awesome. Not to mention, it would make things like Yang Zing miss timing. Holy crap. Way to really step it up on the Kaijus. Whew. But anyway, guys, let me know down in the comments below what you think of these cards. The monsters are lackluster. The spell, ooh, oh, yes. Damn. So, let me know down in the comments below what you guys think. And remember, guys, if you don't troll the meta, just nuke the board and summon a bunch of Kaijus. Who cares?